Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel where I talk about movies, including recent Blu-ray releases and sometimes UHD releases. And so today I'm talking about a recent release from Criterion, The Fisher King from 1991. And this is the 4K UHD, which is an upgrade from the Criterion Blu-ray release of 2015. And both the Blu-ray and the UHD are here together. And I believe all the supplements are the same as what is found on the Blu-ray. In fact, the commentaries on both discs, all the supplements are on the Blu-ray. So this is a film from 1991, directed by Gilliam, starring Robin Williams, Jeff Bridges, Mercedes Ruehl in her Oscar-winning supporting actress performance, and Amanda Plummer. And the film opens with Jeff Bridges, a character called Jack Lucas. He is a shock jock, and this was a big thing in 1991. Howard Stern and many, many others emulating Stern with a kind of over-the-top, testing the limits, arrogant, testing the limits of incivility, of insensitivity that drew a wild assortment of fans. And how far would they go? And of course, this kind of insensitivity and incivility is frowned upon today, unless you're running for president. So it is a moment in time, and we are in New York City as well. Now there was an incident on the Jerry Springer show where a great awful tragedy happened to the people on his show, which also tested boundaries. So here as well we get Jack's insensitivity to a caller who is obviously disturbed, and it results in an awful tragedy that Jack views himself, if not directly responsible, certainly a contributing factor to this tragedy. And it totally unravels him, because in his personal life, he is as arrogant and as self-centered and as his radio personality, but now that is destroyed by this awful tragedy. So 3 years later, we see him living above a video store in New York City with Mercedes Ruehl, who owns this video store. He's down, he is really down, and he's alcoholic, and he cannot absorb the tragedy that he is blaming himself for. And he meets by chance a homeless person who is evidently psychotic but has moments of lucidity. And he discovers that this homeless man was a victim of this great tragedy. Even though he lived, he was a victim of it. This is played by Robin Williams, whose appearance is sort of delayed. Now, in '91, Robin Williams was certainly at the height of his popularity, and when are we going to get Robin Williams? And he does make a pretty good entrance in this film. So the rest of the film basically concerns, now Jack soon learns that this homeless man is a victim of his insensitivity, but the homeless man, Robin Williams' character, Perry, does not know that Jack was the shock jock that may have triggered the tragedy of which he was a victim of. So the rest of the film is sort of a journey, a quest for Jack to find, to become a mensch, as Dr. Dreyfus says in The Apartment, a mensch, a human being. And for Perry to find at least some semblance of mental health. And there is a quest, another quest. This is for the Holy Grail, and which resides in the apartment that Perry sees in a magazine sitting on a shelf, and he believes this to be the Holy Grail. So how is this going to be accomplished? Certainly kindness, acts of kindness become very important in this movie. And and in its contrast as far as New York City, where we get these great buildings of just enormous wealth and prosperity, and statues of courageous men being honored, and at the foot of these statues are homeless people who have lost all hope. So the film very much plays with the expectations of these two main male characters in the film. So Jeff Bridges being sort of the inheritor of the Jimmy Stewart mantle, the all-American boy, generally plays likable characters. Here he's not likable. He's playing against type. Very convincing as the shock jock. And Robin Williams, as I said, he has sort of delayed appearance. How is he going to, what is he going to deliver here? Is he going to deliver the kind of unrestrained Robin Williams type performance where he is just, you know, wild and crazy? But he too is rather restrained in this film for the most part. And then we have Jack's long-suffering girlfriend, played by Mercedes Ruehl. She is very much Italian, sort of a bit. She always often borders on a character of an Italian woman, very emotional, but also very caring. And then we get the fourth character in this quartet of stars is Amanda Plummer. She plays Lydia. Oh, Lydia. And she is the object of Perry's desire. He follows her around. And she appears to be, she's very awkward. She appears to be very mousy, but then when she finally enters into the world of Perry and Jack, she has a strength to her and an understanding that's quite surprising. Now, this is, I'm talking about Robin Williams being somewhat restrained. Well, this is really Terry Gilliam being very restrained. He was coming off the disaster of Baron Munchausen, which recently appeared in the Criterion collection in 4K, which I talked about earlier this year. And he is, Gilliam is, you know, always known for his flights of fancy. He's over elaborate, expressionistic. Sometimes he doesn't know where to stop. His imagination runs away with him, with himself. But he very much liked this screenplay by Richard LaGravenese, and this screenplay was thought to be one of the best screenplays the producers of The Fisher King ever read. And they wanted Gilliam, and now Gilliam wanted to make a more normal kind of film than, you know, to get back in the good graces of Hollywood, because many of the studios in Hollywood thought the man was insane. So he tried to restrain himself, and in his commentary, and he gives a great commentary for this film, which I think was made in the 90s. So I guess The Fisher King might have been on Laserdisc, or Criterion Laserdisc at one point. But they tell him, no, go ahead, you know, well, we could do this, but I go too far. No, go far, go farther. But nevertheless, this is somewhat restrained. There is the Holy Grail kind of fairy tale-ish aspect to it. And Gilliam was worried, you know, I've already made Monty Python the Holy Grail, now I'm making another Holy Grail film. And this fairy tale aspect of it is sort of amplified in certain scenes. Certainly the nude scene, there's two famous scenes in this film. The nude, Robin Williams nude, running around in the middle of Central Park in the nude at night. And then there's the scene in Grand Central Station where Perry is following the love of his life, Lydia, through a crowded Grand Central Station, 1,000 extras, and they suddenly break into a waltz. Everybody is dancing a waltz as Perry seeks the object of his desire. So, I wasn't a big fan of this film when it came out, and Terry Gilliam's movies in general, but I've softened on Gilliam through the years, and certainly the performances here are so good. I mean, the intimate scenes in this film are somewhat different than I think another Gilliam scenes due to the screenplay. But even here, he indulges a lot in very big close-ups. I mean, just, you know, the images, the faces just filled the screen. And on my 65-inch screen over there, and sitting at about 7-8 feet, it became rather oppressive. But nevertheless, it is saved by the performances, and the film didn't get it was mixed reviews and some very bad reviews. Roger Ebert gave it 2 stars. Jana Maslin, the New York Times, panned it. It was too much, and even in the intimate scenes became too maudlin. And it was tough to get through. Read John Simon's review. The review of The Fisher King is just pure John Simon vituperation. He just absolutely destroys the film from his point of view, at least. But again, I've sort of you know, accepted the limitations of Terry Gilliam cinema, and certainly his imagination sometimes can, even if it gets a little bit wearisome after a while, it's certainly imagination, and that's always a welcome thing. And also what very welcome, as I mentioned before, is the Terry Gilliam commentary. There's really lots of extras in this set. Here is the Holy Grail. Again, not much artwork in the beginning, but at least you get something on the 2 discs. You do get probably my least favorite insert, which is the fold-out poster, and so you have to lay flat in order to read this essay, which is pretty good, as all Criterion essays are. In the Kingdom of the Imperfect by Bilge Ebiri, which is very good. So as far as the 4K Dolby Vision, it looked fantastic to me. I did listen to the commentary on the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is pretty good too. I mean, this is a really good Blu-ray. So, you know, it's expensive, obviously. Criterion 4Ks are $40. Right now they got a 30% sale off, I think, until May 26th on the Criterion CriterionCollection.com. And Amazon generally sells these for about $35 anyways, but yeah, if you love the film, if you love Robin Williams and Jeff Bridges, definitely this is one you're probably going to want to pick up. Okay, thanks a lot for everybody who managed to listen. I do appreciate it. Comments are welcome. Take care.